Okay, and then what happens next? Well, there's something in Syria. In early April, I believe of 66, or is it maybe 67? A border incident between Israel and Syria climaxed in a major aerial engagement. 6 Syrian planes were shot down, one over Damascus. Tensions between the two countries continued to mount in the ensuing months. In the second week of May, Israeli officials threatened to launch a full-scale attack on Syria. General Yitzhak Rabin, the chief of staff, was alleged to have announced on Israeli radio that the moment is coming when we will march on Damascus to overthrow the Syrian government. The Israeli chief of military intelligence menacingly warned of a military action of great size and strength against Syria. Prime Minister Eshkol declared that Israel may have to teach Syria a sharper lesson than that of early April, right? And in the front page dispatch headlined, Israelis ponder blow at Syrians. Some leaders decide that force is the only way to curtail terrorism. The New York Times reported that some Israeli leaders have decided to use force against Israel, that the use of force against Israel may be the only way to curtail increasing terrorism. This has become apparent in talks with highly qualified and informed Israelis. And finally, citing authoritative sources, the Jerusalem Post reported that a major military clash with Syria seemed inevitable in the form of a military expedition that would, quote, take the wind out of Syrian sails once and for all. And these threats were not viewed as idle in the Arab capitals or elsewhere. Indeed, the alarms were almost certainly not false. So on the one hand, well, according to Abba Eban, right, sort of the defender of what Israel has done, Israel, quote, never intended or even conceived of attacking Syria. But as Finkelstein says, right, so Eban goes on to heap scorn on the Soviet intelligence reports that were passed to Egypt and Syria of an imminent Israeli attack, and he deems that the, quote, information supplied by the Soviet Union, the proximate cause, the 1967 war. So, right, what is Eban saying? He's saying, well, the Soviet Union passed on some intelligence to Syria and Egypt that Israel is planning to attack them. And Eban says, no, Israel never planned to attack them, right? Because of the bombing of the planes, right? Because of I guess because of what happens after the Samu raid and such. So this is what Finkelstein says. Although apparently erring in details, the Soviet intelligence report was not wide off the mark in its general thrust. Richard Parker reports that by mid-May, the question was not whether Israel was going to strike at Syria, but when and how, and everyone knew it was going to happen. Michael Brecker stated flatly in his authoritative study that Israel's cabinet had decided in early May that if non-coercive methods of persuasion against Syria failed, it would launch a limited retaliation raid. The Soviets, according to Parker, had gotten wind of the Israeli cabinet decision. So, right, I mean, there you have it, right?